A French student who's been missing for the past year in Egypt suddenly appeared at the French consulate on August 9, 2022. He has no desire to talk about his ordeal. Yann Bourdon, a 27-year-old Frenchman, left his home in Île-de-France in the summer of 2020 to travel. His family had no news of him since August 4, 2021. He suddenly presented himself to the French consulate in Cairo a little over a year later on August 9, 2022. Bourdon was a sociable person. He studied history at Sorbonne University in Paris and spoke 4 languages. He arrived in Istanbul on July 24, 2021, and from there booked a flight to Sharm el-Sheikh, a popular tourist city. On the morning of July 25th, he landed in the city. He visited the town, climbed Mount Sinai, visited St. Catherine's Monastery, and spent time in the nearby villages. He hitchhiked between cities, and throughout his travels, he would email his family when he had Wi-Fi. On July 28, 2021, Bourdon sent a long, detailed email to his family discussing his plans in Egypt and in Cairo. According to his mother, he had said that he was going to Suez to meet an off-duty police officer who wanted to talk to him, that the officer gave Bourdon a ride to Cairo, and that the officer had invited Bourdon to have a drink with friends that night. The officer told Bourdon that he was returning from vacation and that he could give Bourdon a ride to Cairo. Bourdon planned to go to Cairo to visit the museum there as well as the Copt district. The officer dropped Bourdon at an underground station in downtown Cairo. Before allowing Bourdon to leave, the officer invited him to join him for dinner and drinks with friends. Bourdon agreed and joined them on the night of July 28th. On August 4, 2021, Bourdon replied to an email from his sister confirming that he'd write to them soon, but they never heard from him since then. Bourdon traveled a lot as he was passionate about learning about other cultures. Therefore, he was often without internet. When he missed his mom's birthday in September 2021, the family got worried, but figured he just didn't have internet and didn't want to raise an unnecessary alert. However, when his sister's birthday came and went in November 2021 and they still didn't hear anything, they contacted the French Foreign Ministry, who contacted the French Embassy in Egypt, who then contacted Egyptian authorities. In Paris, his family filed an official missing persons report. At first, Egyptian officials claimed Bourdon had never been in Egypt, which frustrated his family. However, French National Police confirmed that he had arrived in Sharm el-Sheikh on July 25, 2021, after he had traveled through Lithuania, Macedonia, Croatia, Kurdistan, and Turkey. His bank card was used at an ATM near the Sadat subway station in Tahrir Square in Cairo to empty his account in 4 consecutive cash withdrawals on August 7th, a few days after his last email to his sister. No CCTV could be recovered of Bourdon, and the registers of hostels didn't have his name. While the Egyptian president was in Paris in July 2022, Bourdon's family raised placards asking, "Where is Yann Bourdon?" However, French police escorted them away from the sidewalk for identity checks before the president's motorcade went past. On August 9, 2022, he called his family back in Paris, and the next day, he safely traveled back to France. There is no news on the identity of the police officer who gave Bourdon a ride and invited him for dinner. The group Committee for Justice, or CFJ, based in Geneva, was following the case and has said that his case may be an enforced disappearance. It submitted a complaint to the UN Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearances to urge the UN to pressure Egypt and France to hold transparent investigations. The Italian newspaper La Stampa pointed out that Bourdon's disappearance echoes that of Giulio Regini, a 28-year-old Italian student who disappeared in Cairo in 2016. His body was found a few days after his abduction, tortured and mutilated. The case caused deep strains between Italian and Egyptian diplomatic relations due to the involvement of members of the Egyptian Secret Service in Regini's abduction. There is still no update as to where he was during that time that he was missing. This comes from the subreddit Unresolved Mysteries, written by LeVraiNord.